Hello all, I am Dr. Jyoti KB, Assistant Professor, Government First Grade College Kubi. In today's session 17, we are understanding the greatest romantic poet, William Wordsworth's poem, The World is Too Much for Us. So through this poem, let us learn what are Wordsworth's concerns about the human life, the modern industrialized human life, through this poem? Uh, we are understanding the romantic sentiment in the poem. We recognize and explain the literary devices employed in the poem, and we are analyzing the poem critically in this session. The World is Too Much with Us is a sonnet written by William Wordsworth, published in 1807, is one of the central figures of English Romantic movement. The poem laments the withering connection between humankind and nature, blaming industrialized society for replacing that connection with material pursuits. Wordsworth wrote the poem during the first industrialized revolution, a period of technological and mechanical innovation spanning the mid 18th to early 19th centuries that thoroughly transformed British life. In the poem, The World is Too Much with Us, the speaker describes humankind's relationship with the natural world in terms of loss. That relationship, which once flourished, but now, due to the impact of industrialization on everyday life, humankind has lost the ability to appreciate, celebrate, and be soothed by nature. To emphasize this central loss, the poem describes it from three angles: economic, spiritual, and cultural. Notably, the poem does not suggest a way to regain what is lost. Rather, its tone is desperate, arguing that humankind's original relationship with nature can never be revived. The poem first presents loss in the economic sense, implicitly blaming urban life for the change in people's relationship with nature. Modern humans are always losing time or money as working people in an increasingly urban area. Their lives are structured by never ending series of appointments and transactions. ಸೊ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದರೆ ಈ ಆಧುನಿಕ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಜೀವನ ಶೈಲಿಯಿಂದ ಮನುಷ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಸತತವಾಗಿ ಬಿಡುವಿಲ್ಲದಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸಗಳಿದೆ, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಇದೆ, ವ್ಯವಹಾರಗಳು ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಜೊತೆಗಿನ ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಜೊತೆಗಿನ ಅವನ ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಸಮಯವೇ ಆಧುನಿಕ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಈ ಕೈಗಾರೀಕರಣ ತುಂಬಿದ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ತುಂಬ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾದ ಕೊರತೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ವರ್ತ್ ಗುರುತಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. And he says, instead of a cordial relationship with nature, human beings have found temporary satisfaction with modern lifestyle. ಸೊ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂದರೆ, ಕೈಗಾರೀಕರಣದ ಹುಚ್ಚು ಆಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೊಚ್ಚಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಧುನೀಕರಣಗೊಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಪವರ್ ಟು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ವಿತ್ ನೇಚರ್ or to appreciate the world around us. By focusing their powers on material objects, people grow unaware of their wider and more important surroundings. So people have become unconscious about the nature and the context in which he is working. So he is just behind money and material gains and wealth, which have completely supplanted his conscious mind out of his context. So the result is that nothing in nature is ours. So we are mindless of the nature around us. This is a world where everything, be it a house, stocks in a company, or a loaf of bread, can be won or lost in an instant. By describing nature as something that can be owned or possessed, the speaker may be implying that modern human beings have lost the ability to think of relationships and emotions in anything but economic terms. So everybody is thinking in terms of utility. Everybody is thinking in terms of what profits he's going to get out of his every move. So even the context in which he is living, the nature in which he is living, and the emotions which he himself imbibes are all calculated in terms of money. So this is Wordsworth's concern. The poem next dwells on spiritual loss, though without forgetting that loss's economic roots. We have given our hearts away. So, second loss which Wordsworth identifies because of this material pursuit of human beings is that they have also lost the spiritual growth. Though it uses economic language, people give something away in exchange for something else. This line adds another perspective to the depiction of loss. The price of material gain and industrial progress is the human heart itself. So, the material society and industrial growth have taken away the basic characteristics of a human heart, which craves, desires for joy, happiness, pleasure, comfort, affection, and other positive emotions. In, ex- uh, in exchange for industrial progress, people have reduced themselves to an almost less than human state. The speaker suggests that this loss of humanity outweighs the material gain. So, in the final stage, he identifies the third loss which the material society has given birth to is the cultural loss. So he says the speaker invokes Greek paganism where human beings were in close association with nature. They lived in the care of nature. So nature was the primary important nurturer for human beings in pagan society. There were no economic structures, institutions, and material institutions in a pagan society. So, Speaker likes to live in a pagan society, introducing a version of society in which nature played a larger role in human life. But the pagan tradition in the present society is a creed out one. So, nobody follows paganism, and pagan lifestyle is described as uncivilized and barbaric. So, once the speaker acknowledges the uselessness of past traditions, his or her wishes come across as more fanciful than serious. So, I would rather be a pagan. So, he wishes to become a pagan rather than live in a practical utilitarian society of industrial England. As a member of modern society, the speaker cannot access nature in a way to make him or herself less forlorn. This doesn't mean that nature has been destroyed. The pleasant Leah still exists. It doesn't suit the speaker. At this moment of emotional despair, The best he or she can do is imagine a past that is in its fullest form is lost and inaccessible.